I remember that night so vividly, as if the air itself carried an unspoken weight, something shifting just beneath the surface of reality. It was late, much later than I usually stayed up, but the exhaustion from the week had settled into my bones, making every movement feel heavier. The house was quiet, except for the occasional creak of the wooden floors adjusting to the night's temperature. I had just finished my nighttime routine, brushing my hair absent-mindedly, letting the long strands cascade over my shoulders. The dim glow of the bedside lamp painted soft shadows along the walls, a comforting sight in an otherwise ordinary evening. I had almost climbed into bed when I heard it, the faintest knock at my bedroom door. At first, I thought I imagined it. The house was supposed to be empty, save for me and my nephew, Noah. My cousin's son had arrived earlier that afternoon, an unexpected guest for the summer. She had called me in a rush 2 nights ago, her voice laced with worry and exhaustion. "Please, just for a few weeks," she had pleaded. "He needs some space, some time away." There was something in her tone that unsettled me, but I didn't press her for details. Noah was family, and I wouldn't turn him away. I had watched him grow from a quiet, observant child into a reserved young man of 19. He was polite, intelligent, but always carried an air of detachment, as if he were a part of the world yet separate from it at the same time. But now, in the silence of the night, the knock came again. This time, deliberate. I hesitated, glancing at the clock. 3:05 a.m. "Noah," I called softly, stepping toward the door. When I opened it, he stood there, his figure partially silhouetted by the dim hallway light. His dark eyes flickered up to meet mine, holding something unreadable, something heavy. I I couldn't sleep," he admitted, his voice barely above a whisper. A chill ran through me, though I wasn't sure why. Perhaps it was the way he stood, rigid yet uncertain, like he was wrestling with something unseen. Or maybe it was the way the shadows clung to his face, emphasizing the hollowness beneath his sharp cheekbones. I stepped aside, gesturing for him to come in. "Do you want to sit?" He hesitated for a moment before nodding. I watched as he crossed the room, moving with the same quiet grace I remembered from when he was younger. He perched at the edge of the chair near my window, his fingers gripping the armrests as if steadying himself. "I keep thinking," he started, then stopped, exhaling sharply, "about a lot of things." I settled onto the bed, watching him carefully. "Like what?" Noah's jaw tensed. He seemed to struggle for words, his fingers tapping idly against the chair. "Do you ever feel like you're not really yourself anymore?" His eyes met mine, searching. "Like you're just existing?" His words struck something deep within me, something I hadn't even realized I had buried. "Yeah," I admitted. "I've felt that before." He nodded slowly, looking away. "It's been worse lately. I feel like I don't belong anywhere, like I'm drifting, and no matter what I do, I can't anchor myself." I swallowed, unsure of what to say. My cousin hadn't told me what had happened to bring him here, but I could sense it. Something had shifted in him, something fractured. "You belong, Noah," I said gently, "even when it doesn't feel like it, even when you think you're lost." He gave a dry, humorless chuckle. "You sound sure." "I have to be," I said, offering a small smile. "Otherwise, I'd be just as lost as you." For the first time that night, a small crack in his guarded expression appeared. It wasn't much, just a flicker of something. Relief, maybe. Understanding. He leaned back in the chair, exhaling a breath he seemed to have been holding for a long time. "I don't know why I came to your room," he admitted after a pause. "I just didn't want to be alone." His words settled in the space between us, heavy yet comforting in their honesty. "You never have to be," I told him, meaning every word. The silence stretched, but this time it felt different, less lonely, less suffocating. And as I watched Noah sit there, his shoulders no longer as tense, I realized something. Sometimes the smallest moments of connection could change everything. Even on the quietest of nights, when everything felt like it was unraveling, a single conversation could be the thread that pulled you back together.